Hey everybody, it's Thunder here. Well, be prepared to fight now or fight later, depending on what your circumstances are. Doesn't look too good right now. This financial thing that I've been talking about for the last 2, 3 weeks. We see that it's definitely gotten to a point where it's becoming evident. Um, weren't they saying before the stock market went down 1,000 points? Weren't they saying before that everything is okay and that there's nothing to worry about? And aren't they still saying the same thing after the stock market went down 1,000 points? They're still saying the same thing. It's okay. There's nothing to worry about. The economy's doing good. We're making a comeback. Blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, you got all these people like Jim Sinclair and Gregory Mannarino and who else? Bill Holter and Dave on X22 and all these people, and these people deal in gold and silver and commodities. And I'll tell you, Jim Sinclair didn't look happy at all. He looked like he was ready to give up the ship. I think that there's something in the wind here, kind of like my book, Listen to the Wind. I personally feel like people should be prepared. And then, another thing came out today, an article that I posted by Paul Craig Roberts about another article that was posted by the Financial Times saying that it's time to take everybody's cash. It's time to go to cashless societies. In other words, they don't want people holding money. They don't want people holding gold. They don't want people holding anything of any value, okay? Because they say it's hurting the system. Already they're blaming you, okay? Already they're blaming China, but the next people they're going to blame is going to be you, okay? That's like a group of outlaws riding into a ranch and killing all your kids. You're a rancher, and they come in and kill all your kids and your livestock and cattle and rape your wife and do whatever, and then say it's your fault for not having the fence up or something. This is how these people think, okay? They're fascists, okay? And what's changed? I mean, back in the days in the good old days of the Native American genocide, just kidding, but what's changed since then? They're doing the same thing they've always done. They're going to take people's lives. They're going to destroy people. They're going to screw people over. It's beyond wondering why they do this. It's that they are doing it, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they're going to continue plowing everybody right under into the earth, into the dirt, face first. Now, I always said, well, I live in the city here, and I do. So I don't see, and I'm getting along in years, so I don't see too much hope for me in regards to any kind of surviving any kind of situation. I mean, if the shit goes down, there ain't going to be food on the shelves. It's going to be like Mad Max. People are going to be killing each other. I mean, you see how it gets at holidays when they have sales and people stampede in Walmart and crush each other and kill each other. Well, multiply that times 100, or multiply that times 1,000. That's how it's going to be, people. So I'm saying you better get ready. The people in the Campfire Council, and that's kind of our motto, is that we prep anyway. I mean, I hope everybody's prepared for this. And just because, let's say you live in near a major city, that you don't live right in the city, but you live near a major city, you're still, whether whether you're in the urban area or the suburban area, uh, or even anywhere where you do near a city, you're going to feel the effects of it. That's why I've been trying to tell people in the Campfire Council that we should get some land out somewhere and be self-sufficient and get something going with that. But that's, I don't know, that's might be too late. Okay, not that I'm giving up on that idea, but anyway, back to my point is, if you're near a city, if you're near a freaking city, you're going to feel the full effects of all this stuff. Because if you're dependent on getting your food from a supermarket, which everybody is, okay, if you're not out in the middle of Iowa or some farm community like a Quaker, and growing your own food and killing your own livestock and milking your own cows and butchering your own chickens, and if you're not doing that, if you're reliant in any way upon getting your food from a store, getting your clothes, your medical supplies, your prescriptions, whatever you have, you're up shit creek, okay? Just being brutally honest, you're up shit creek. So if you think you're safe in any way, shape, or form, even if you have food, okay? Even if you're near a city and you've prepped and prepped and prepped and you've got food and it's stored up and you got like a little storeroom and you got cans of food and you got water, which is really a good idea, and ammunition and guns, firearms, you better not have any qualms about firearms, period, or you're dead. I'm just being brutally honest here. You better know how to use a firearm. You better have plenty of ammo. If you have a family you need to protect, or yourself. Now, I've got firearms and I've got ammo right here in my apartment. But it'll only last so long, and then I'm dead, okay? When they come, when the zombies come through the door looking for food and shit, I might delay their tactics a while, though. That'll be fun. But anyway, you better be armed if you have if you're prepping and you have food and stuff, because that's going to be as good as gold. People are going to look at that like they'd rather have your food and your water and your clothes and whatever else you got, even your firearm. They'll come after you for anything. Don't think for a minute they won't, because people are going to be berserk. And I'm saying this now, I've said this before. Thunder's a little fiery today, but I've said this before. Okay? I'm a spiritual person, and I believe in detachment or non-attachment, and trying to go with the flow, and just accepting whatever is laid on our plate. But on the other hand, I feel for people. Okay, I feel sorry for people. I feel like they're going to be caught with their pants down. They're going to get spanked. They're going to be like a deer in the headlights. It's going to be a shock to them. It's going to be the last thing that they're going to remember is, oh my God, I can't get any food, or I can't go anywhere, or it's complete chaos. This could happen. By all accounts, this could happen. Okay? Now, will it happen? Well, we'll see. But is it good to be prepared? Yeah, it's good to be prepared. But again, don't be so complacent or so sure of yourself that you think that just because you have some food stored up and some ammo and some guns, that you're not going to have to do some serious standoffs. Okay, I'm just being honest. to protect that, and you better know how to do that, and you better not have any qualms about pulling any triggers or anything like that. You gotta be thinking like an Apache, okay? Now, in a situation like this, my take, my ideas have been be way out of the city, way out on a ranch, way out somewhere where, you know, we could all be. That's my dream, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. So the next best thing is be mobile. Okay, you know, if also, you know, if you have all this stuff stored up, it might be a good idea to have mobility. Okay, because sometimes nomadic action is necessary to get out of a certain area and go to another area. Being a pilot, like I am, you know, but I don't even have transportation right now. But being a pilot, if I could get to an airport, I could probably steal a plane and get the hell out real quick. But again, it's going to be so chaotic. You're not even going to be able to go 2 blocks, people. Not even 2 blocks. You're going to have to shore up your house. And look, here's another thing too. If you're like in a hot climate, and it's even hot here today in California, it's 90 degrees. I got the air conditioner on. I don't like to have it on. I'd rather have real air, but I'm getting older, okay? And the thing is that all this stuff that we're relying on and that we've gotten soft, okay? And if we're not in a temperate climate, you know, if we're in somewhere like Arizona or where it gets like 100 degrees and you're used to having air conditioning, or if you're in Tennessee and it's sweltering out and high humidity and you're used to having air conditioning, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have air, you're not going to have water, you're not going to have... It's going to be pretty bad, people. That's why so many people are just going to die. They're just going to die. I hate to say it, but... And it's almost like that saying, you know, the Apaches, you know, they would have rather died than get captured, you know. And some of them made sure, you know. Just like some people would have rather died than get captured by an Apache, you know. So the stark realization of all this is something that you need to consider. Now, you know, we wouldn't have to be going through all this, and I don't want to sound like this, you know, I don't want people to think this is fear porn, because I rarely do stuff like this. I rarely do videos where I get this graphic and this exacting and this brutal, but the brutal truth is the truth. And so, you know, like I was going to say, we wouldn't even be going through this if people would just have stood up, okay, and done something about this earlier, and still, you could still do something about it. I mean, why die in a defensive mode, going down fighting your neighbors, and after all the crap that they've thrown out there to turn us on each other through some kind of event or panic or reset. I hate that word, reset. And these people with gold and silver, they think that, oh yeah, I'm going to make it through and on the other side and I'll be sitting pretty. Don't think so. Don't think so. You better be relying on nature and nothing else but nature. See, and there is no nature left. How far will it take you to get to nature from where you are? 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles, 50 miles. Now, some of you are lucky and you live out in nature, and I mean, you guys are the ones that are going to survive. I wish I was with you. But I ain't got that much longer on the planet anyway, but it sure would be nice to be with a group of kindred people in a standoff mode. Sure would be nice. But I'm not counting on anything. Okay. I'm a realist. Thunder's a realist in a sense, is because I know what's going to happen if the shit hits the fan and I'm in the city. Where I am now. Even though I'm back in my own apartment, it's still in the middle of the city next to a freeway with thousands of cars going by every day, and the city is just a monstrous place, okay? And really, everything's almost a city now. That's the shame of it all, is that everything's, everywhere you go, it's wall-to-wall people. What is that? It's a city. Whether it's big buildings or, I don't care if there's a million freaking people everywhere and stoplights and traffic, and it's a city. And there's supermarkets, and that's where you get your food, and it's just, you can't get away from this, people. It's too bad. It's too bad that you didn't get off your asses and fight. You know? It's too bad you don't get off your ass and fight. At least you go down like a warrior and you go down fighting. And these young people that are living today, they don't have a clue about this stuff, about what it means to be free, or what it meant to be free, or what it meant to be in a nation without so many laws and rules and regulations and straitjacket mentality, anal mentality, plastic mentality. They don't know what it was like, okay? They have no idea. They're diddling their iPods, you know, all day long. They have no idea. I mean, it's kind of incomprehensible to me. That there's people walking around that don't have any freaking idea about what it was to be, you know, really kind of free in America at one time. I mean, not that it's ever been free, or not that it's ever been fair, or not that there hasn't been. But hey, if you go back to the 50s, okay, when I was a kid, you think you were in heaven, okay? If you went back to the 50s and compared it to now, even though you don't have, you know, all the little, you didn't have all the little computers, and you didn't have all the little bullshit that they have now, and your phones were dial phones, and you had a 3-party line, and, excuse me, and your cars were real simple to work on because they didn't have all those computers under the hood. You just lifted it up and boom, there was the engine, and wow. Relationships were better. People were friendlier to each other for the most part. It's nothing like it is now. It's just a massive crush of people, okay? A massive crush of people, technology, just horrific. Okay, you're totally lost your identity as a person. It's sad. It's really sad. You can't go to a park or any beach or anything without it being polluted, and 1,000 people at the beach rushing to try to get into the polluted water, the radiated water on the West Coast from Fukushima. It's out there, people. And the people in the council, you should pay particular attention to what I'm saying, what Thunder's saying. That's another thing too on the even on the website, you try to get something going on in this community, the Campfire Council community and the Google communities, and what do? You get like 50 new people, or you get your membership goes up, and Google comes in and deletes them all. Hello? I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm done with Facebook and Google, and I'm about ready to bail on this whole thing. I might just leave the council up there for people that want to talk and post their little videos and shit, but I like posting on there. I like posting pictures and stuff, but as far as using that for a vehicle to like try to get people interested in an idea that you might have, I know Google's got their fingers in there. They're messing with it. There obviously must be. And I've had reports of people telling me, oh yeah, that happened to my community too. I mean, they control everything. They don't want people that think alike getting in communities. They're the CIA, for God's sake. We're just using them because it's the only, port in town. Any port in a storm. So we're trying to communicate through an internet that's infested with dark people, dark forces. You think we're going to get anywhere? No, not unless we start calling each other and hooking up. And so Thunder's kind of, disheartened. But hell, I thought I'd at least, excuse me, at least get this video out. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do anymore either. Of course, I've said that before, but it's getting to the point now where what do you talk about? I mean, once you lay it out, I guess you could talk about spiritual things, try to build one another. I don't know. I might consider that avenue again. Although I got hundreds of videos, on spiritual things and native things, and if you go back in the archives, I'm just shaking my head right now. I'm just kind of shaking my head. I'm sitting here in my apartment shaking my head and going, man, I sure would like to be hooked up with some people, some real people that know what's going on. See, people are, you people, I'm going to get on your case now. You're complacent too. Everybody's complacent. Everybody's like, well, I'm in my situation and I have, I have my family and I have this and I have that, and we're doing okay. We're making it day to day, and we have a little money in the bank. Oops, hope not. That'll be gone pretty soon. And we're this and we're that, and it's okay. And we'll listen to all the videos and we'll listen to all the warnings, but we ain't gonna do shit. We're not gonna go out of our way to organize a group, or we're not gonna go out of our way to get things done that need to be done for our own welfare, for our own freaking lives, okay? And help others too in our community. There's complacency everywhere. People are like, okay, I can't stretch outside my own my own world here, my own worldview. I can't see it. Here I am. I can't do anything. I don't have any money. Well, you know what? You deserve what you get then. You deserve what you get. If you have that kind of attitude where you can't venture out and you can't be a warrior and you can't stretch the envelope, push the envelope a little bit, and try harder to congregate and get together and make things happen, then it ain't gonna happen, baby. So Thunder's on a soapbox today, isn't he? don't take me wrong, and I have great deep love for everybody. I really do, especially those in the council, but I just don't see people being like they should. I mean, and that's just my opinion. I don't see people forming up. I don't see people doing what they should be doing. I don't see people even caring anymore. It's almost like, well, we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. It'll be so nice to watch it all go down, everybody's thinking. It'll be so nice to see it all go down. Oh, really? It's going to be the most horrific thing you ever saw, baby. It's going to be 10 times worse than your worst nightmare. Your worst screaming, hellacious nightmare. It's going to be 10 times worse than that. It's going to be real good to see it all go down. Well, yeah, it will be. But you're going to go down with it, okay? If you don't have it together, okay? And if you're not, it's just sad. I hate to, this is kind of a depressing video, I know. I probably should end it here. Well, let's see if we can end on an up note. What can I say? What can we think about that's positive? Well, how about this? How about that since we can't, it doesn't seem like there's too much we can do, maybe we need to throw our burden on Great Spirit and ask for pity. Okay, that's something that a lot of natives used to say in their prayers. Pity my condition, pity me, because I am in a situation where I don't have too much control. So have pity on me and try to alleviate circumstances for me, or better circumstances, or alter circumstances. Don't let me take anything more than I can bear. That would be a nice prayer to Great Spirit. It's like, don't let me take anything more than I can bear. Just help me to put one foot in front of the other and release that burden to Great Spirit, okay? I know this has been kind of a depressing video, but I have to end on an up note. I have to say that no matter what happens, whether we leave this realm, okay, or whether we stay here, or whether we go through some trial, the best way to get through things sometimes is having some kind of faith, okay, that it'll all be okay. You know, because if we leave this realm, we'll go to another realm. We have to have faith that that'll be okay. And we have to have faith that whatever happens, it's okay, and it's going to work itself out. I guess it's the warrior side in me that comes out with these videos and really gets my back up, and because I have compassion for other people. And I have compassion for myself. And it's like, I just can't understand why people have let it go this far without taking some kind of action, man. Taking some kind of action, even if it's protesting or moving out into the streets saying, yeah, we're aware that you're lying to us. That's what was done in the 60s. People went out in the street and said, yeah, we're aware that you're lying to us. In thousands, by the thousands, they went out in the streets. They burned draft cards. They did all kinds of things. They didn't just sit around. They didn't wait till the last minute when austerity measures are on them, like in Greece and some of these other countries, and then throw Molotov cocktails and get into harsh confrontations. No, we people in the 60s did that way before Yeah, we had confrontations and we got beat bloody and I got jailed so many times I couldn't even friggin' count. But you know how good that felt to be arm in arm with your brothers and sisters? And we all knew one another. We all knew one another. And we all went down together and we went to jail together and we got out together and then we had a party when we got out. It's like, that's true camaraderie. That's true bonding. That's not this BS we got today where nobody cares. I think people should really start to care and wake up. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today. This is Thunder. That's enough from me today. Over and out.